Well, good evening, everyone. Michael, soothing here. You can see it actually is evening time. I thought what I would do today, as I received a request for it, it seems like most people really like relaxing newspaper ramble. Excuse me, I gotta take a thumbnail, right? So, that was me taking a thumbnail. It may not look like it to you. First I want to note I really appreciate all the comments on my last video when I asked you whether I made legitimate ASMR. I have never imagined such an outpouring of positive comments. I can't tell you how much that's appreciated. You have motivated me to continue on through 2018, at least, but maybe through 2020. So you don't have to keep doing positive comments for me to keep going, because now I know how you all feel. But of course, the comments are greatly appreciated anyway. I don't have much newspaper. I just have a piece of it left over from recycling. I think the rest of it got recycled already. But I haven't read this yet. As always, I never have time to read the paper, so I'll look through it with you together, and we'll see if there's anything interesting in here. This is called Oregon Lifestyle. It's from last Sunday, but since it's the lifestyle thing, I only get text messages when I'm trying to, do an ASMR video. This would be daughter Chelsea showing me some photos of her very cute bird. I don't think they'll show up they don't show up with the proper color when you look at videos on the phone, but I'm gonna put this on silent mode. There. Now we can go on uninterrupted. A peak experience. A new trail to Choosh Falls offers hikers a look at a formerly hidden canyon and a series of spectacular cascade peaks. That looks pretty good to me. We've been doing quite a bit of trail hiking over the summer, and I always like to find new places. I think this is probably not too close to where I live, but you can see the fall colors there, even though the light's not so good. There's a waterfall, Choosh Falls. That looks pretty impressive. I'm gonna start doing nature sounds videos a little bit more from time to time. I recorded some waves the other day at Hecata Lighthouse. They were very impressive waves, and I think what I'll do is do some voiceover to talk about the Pacific Ocean and the relaxation. Maybe give you some of the history of Hecata. But let's see what this says. The prettiest waterfall hike near Sisters. Those are two mountains, not your siblings. Near Sisters not only has a new name, it has a new trail. Choosh Falls has been known as Squaw Creek Falls until the Oregon Board of Geographic Names changed it. A wildfire in 2012 burned most of the canyon. You know, that giant wildfire in Oregon a few weeks ago was caused by a teenager doing illegal fireworks. So don't do illegal fireworks in dry forested areas. That was a few million in damage anyway. A spokesperson at the Sisters Ranger District said that comments were split about changing the name to Waichus Creek. Some say this is stupid. I'll never call it anything but Squaw Creek. How come we're always changing the names of stuff? You know, like, what was that mountain in Alaska? It got changed from some president's name to Mount Denali, you know. Although maybe Denali fits better. Was it the president who arranged the purchase of Alaska from Russia for, like $3.87 or something? We got a pretty good deal on that one. Anyway, I'll have to look this place up and see. Oh, they show the trails, but it doesn't show how to get there or quite where this is. It's on the next page. Trails. The access road is the roughest part, it says. Is that what it says? Oh, there we go. Trails. See, we're backlighting this, so it's going to be hard for you to see what I'm seeing. New York Times bestsellers. What's on the bestseller list these days? The Girl Who Takes an Eye for an Eye. Lisbeth, sounds like a good revenge novel, doesn't it? Maybe it should become a movie. Do you like revenge movies? I kind of do myself, if they're good. What was the one with Denzel Washington and the girl that was kidnapped in Mexico? Man on Fire. That was pretty good. Let's see here. Anyway, Lisbeth teams up with an investigative journalist to uncover the secrets of her childhood. That doesn't sound like a revenge story, but maybe it is. What's in the non-fiction bestsellers on the New York? You know, it's almost Halloween, and so sometimes a house ghost can show up right in the middle of an ASMR video. I went up yesterday and filmed Rue the Ghost, but that is for a different video that I will post on Halloween. So just in a few days. I haven't made the rest of the video yet, just that segment. More on that later, okay? What else is on the top of the New York Times bestsellers? Killing England is #1 by Bill O'Reilly. Did he stop harassing females long enough to write another book? That's good. Better activity for you, Bill, is to stick to writing, right? So you don't get in trouble. The next one down is miscategorized as a non-fiction book, but really belongs in the fiction section. I'm not going to tell you the title, because then you'll get mad, because we'll be talking politics. Anyway, new in paperback ADHD Nation. Children, doctors, big pharma, and the making of an American epidemic. I kind of sympathize with this point of view that says, shouldn't you let boys be boys a little in elementary school? Why is it that everyone who has a lot of energy and just being a kid gets labeled with the term ADHD, and they start filling them with bad, toxic amphetamines like Ritalin or Adderall, highly addictive amphetamines that ruin your teeth and bones, amongst other things. So, behavioral problems can be rooted in something like ADHD, but it's overdiagnosed, I think. Don't you think so? Everyone now who shows any kind of energy level is diagnosed with that. Anybody who's getting bored a little in class. I mean, if you're a 9-year-old boy and you're listening to history about George Washington, aren't you going to be a little fidgety and wish you were somewhere else? I think you will, most of the time. Okay, so anyway, I don't know where the ghost went. Websites rank U.S. cities by their fun factor. Let's see what the most fun cities in America are. The number one was, of course, Las Vegas. Number 2, Orlando, Florida. Number 3, New York City. Number 4, Miami. Number 5, Portland, Oregon, our home state here now. Number 6, Atlanta, Georgia. Number 7, San Francisco. It's a very fun city. I've been there a lot. Number 8, New Orleans, or as they say, New Orleans down there. They don't say the new part, it's just like New Orleans. Number 9, Chicago. That's if you don't get, mugged or killed. And number 10, San Diego. San Diego is a fascinating and beautiful town. I used to work there all the time, and I love that place. Mission Bay and, the ocean areas, that Point Loma area, really all of it. The African safari thing and all of that stuff. Theme park announced for Mexico's Mayan coast. Mexico City. They have announced plans for an $840 million theme park on the country's Caribbean coast, just north of Playa del Carmen. It will be named Amacu, and the Mayan pronunciation amigo or friend. Many of its attractions will include cartoon characters. It sounds like kind of a Mayan Disneyland. Hopefully they won't be doing human sacrifices of your children while you're there, but although maybe some of you will wish that they were doing that, okay? So watch out, you kids, if you go to the Mayan Disneyland. All right, not too much more interesting on that page. How about the Sunday comics? I think we discussed this before. they don't seem so funny to me anymore. They're almost never funny. I find more humor in the regular pages of the paper most of the time. Classic Peanuts by Charles Schulz. I did like the Peanut strips. I think this was old stuff that they're rerunning from long ago, which is why they call it, Charles Schulz passed away, I don't know, a couple of years ago or something. So here's Snoopy doing a kickoff. Did he take a knee first before he, anyway, what's the little bird's name? I can't remember. Anyway, the little bird is running out for a pass, and the football lands on his head and pounds him into a hole. And Snoopy says, I keep telling him he should wear a helmet. See? Okay. Maybe that was worth a small smile, but of course that's even classic cartoon. Gary Trudeau and Doonesbury. Let me check it and see if it's worth reading to you. How about Garfield the cat? I think this is written for people up in the Wisconsin area or something. It says, I love fall, he says. I love the colors. I love the cool days and the smells. There's leaves floating overhead, nice pastoral kind of feel. And then a guy runs by with a crazed look on his face and a rake. See? And a scream. And so Garfield says, thinking to himself, and of course there's John's annual raking meltdown. Having to rake all the leaves. I have to do some yard work tomorrow. It's beautiful and warm weather here on the Oregon coast. Find at least 6 differences in details between the panels. 6 differences in details between the panels. All right, let's take a look. Do you see the 2 panels? Wait, I'll hold it back some. The first thing I notice is that there's 3 lines on the curtain on the top one and 2 on the curtain on the bottom one. So that's one difference. What else might be here? I'll bet something to do with the calendar. It's probably cheating, but the top picture says 10:15 and the bottom one doesn't. Up in the corner there. Can you see 10:15? But I don't think that's what they're talking about. Let's see now. How about what they're eating? It doesn't look very good because it's green, but I don't think that's it. I don't see anything in the hair or the facial expression. That seems to be the same in both. Yeah, I'm missing the other differences. So let's see what they are. Shall we cheat and check it out? I think we're gonna have to. I'm usually very good at these, but I'm not spotting it. Oh, I spotted another one. Can You see, it has to do with how the lady is holding the glass. Do you see the difference? She's got her finger up on the top one, and she's got them all together and curled in the bottom one. So that was number 2, but there's supposedly 6 differences. It might drive me crazy if I can't spot them all. So let's try to get just at least one more. She's holding a glass. I can't really see. How many fingers does he have on his hand? His fork is the same in both. So I give up. I will read and see what other answers there are. The curtain, the finger is different. The hair is different. The counter is wider. The upper cabinet is not as wide. And the plate is smaller. Oh, we should have got that one. Yeah, that's pretty good. This shows that the eye sees what it wants to see. See, the guy's plate is smaller in the bottom one than in the top one. And the cabinet comes further past his nose in the top one than it does in the bottom one. I don't really see how the hair is different. It looks the same, so I'm not so sure about that one. But anyway, I think that's enough of that. Put that aside. What else do we have here? Oh, Parade magazine. Give a little tenderness. Omaha Steaks ad. The best pizza ever. Killer pies to make at home. Award-winning singer Kelsey Ballerini gets a little cheesy. It shows a bunch of pizzas. They're making me a little bit hungry, which is unfair. Let's see here. Here's a boring story about Chloe someone and Jason Alexander, former Seinfeld star. 58 headlines the new AT&T network series Hit the Road. Sounds a little boring to me, but what do I know? Oh, here we go. You can get a Robo-Bear. See? Robo-Bear. And what he does is, he's the first augmented reality teddy bear. He has no electronics inside, but he syncs up with a smartphone app to help him teach kids empathy and problem-solving skills. Just in case you want to abdicate your responsibilities as a parent and let a teddy bear do the teaching. But then that's what we were doing with Sesame Street already, right? New Star Rising. It shows her eating pizza, but her shirt says kale on it. Kale. So, you can advertise. Does that mean she's putting disgusting bitter kale leaves on her pizza? Well, I'll have to look at the recipe later and see if it's something. Ooh, topping pizza with a sunny side up egg is a hot new trend, it says. There's the pizza. with an egg in the middle. If that's a new trend, can I be untrendy and not eat it, not try it? Because that sounds just a little bit disgusting to me. But what do I know? People are always looking for a new angle. Oh, look. Finally, a simple smartphone. They always like to advertise these jitterbug phones for older people, you know. Like, if you're really too dumb for a smartphone and it intimidates you, buy one of our simple phones. That's what they want to write in their ad copy. But instead they have to use code language, like easy to use from the moment you turn it on. Turn it into a personal safety device, just in case you have fallen and you can't get up. No, it doesn't say that. But that's what it implies, okay? I'm not making fun of anyone because other than the ad on TV, because the acting is questionable in my opinion. But, oh look, the 3 big window replacement myths. I think this is what you were waiting for, is learning about the 3 great myths of window replacement. That's what you need to know. What else is going on here? Wild mushroom pizza. Okay, whatever. Portable oxygen for the way you want to live. Really? Is this the way I want to live? I don't think so. I'd kind of like to live without the portable oxygen, if you don't mind. I went to a 2-week-long training course one time out in China Lake, California, which is a big desert naval weapons center facility. And there's some secret stuff out in that area, but anyway, I was there for a different type of training purpose. And in our class of students in this training was a lady, maybe 50 years old or 45, I'd say. And she had this big oxygen tank and a mask and stuff that she had to wheel into the class with her and put on because she had emphysema. And whenever there was a break in class, she would rush to the door, go outside, disconnect all of that stuff, and puff away on 3 cigarettes as quickly as she could choke them down. And I found this a little bit paradoxical, but it became clear why she was on the oxygen. So that's why I will do, at some point in the future, a role play as a respiratory therapist, okay? Anyway, oh look. Look here. Do you have any relationship troubles? Is your marriage fraught with difficulty or problems of any kind? We have a solution here. Let me show you. TV ears saved our marriage. See, they're beaming and happy now because they got some TV ears. So keep this in mind if you're about ready to waste thousands of dollars on counseling, marital counseling, or therapy, or worse yet, a divorce and a settlement agreement, where the attorneys take everything you've earned your whole life and you each get $10. Before you do any of that, remember that you can save your marriage with TV ears, all right? So I think it has something to do with, one person wanting to listen louder than the other one. Ooh, what a pet peeve. It says, ask Marilyn. An acquaintance sometimes shines a laser pointer at other people's eyes. Can this practice cause damage? The answer to that is yes, and she properly answers it. They can, and if you've ever been hit in the eye with one, you'll know why when you feel how much you recoil against it. What else do we have here? Anything interesting? Why doesn't Michelle Williams star in more movies? Who cares? Okay, I don't know. Finally, a scooter that loads itself in and out of your car. That's great. I need a scooter that will load itself into the car. But after that, what do you do with it? I guess you scoot. That's what scooters do, right? Pizza across America. It seems like there's a lot about pizza in here. Well, try a little tenderness, it says. That's good advice for all of us, right? They're pretty good, those Omaha. I don't want to give them a plug because I could get into trouble or something. I'm just looking to see if there's anything we missed. In Italy with Mom. Planning sometimes creates anxiety. We have here some weddings. We have traveling with a parent is a great way to slow down and connect. And it shows a mom and daughter in Tuscany, Italy. For most trips, reservations have become essential. Modo is a sweet young man with a bit of an adventurous side. Sounds like a decent guy, right? He loves to go for walks and hang out with people, and he especially likes tromping outside and playing with toys. Modo, of course, is this doggy who's looking for a home. That's Modo right there. I had a dog bite my foot the other day, and I wasn't too pleased about it. It was one of those great big breeds, known normally for being fairly friendly. Now I can't remember the name of the breed. Oh, a Mastiff. And we were just doing our evening walk, and he became very territorial and aggressive. We were nowhere near him or his owner, but he was across the street. We were walking on the other side, and he was by a car repair place where his owner was working on a car, and he came running across the street, and with no bark or warning, he huffed, bit my foot, and then it was a warning bite. Otherwise I wouldn't have a foot today. But it still hurt. And then he trotted back over, looking over his shoulder at me like, what are you gonna do about it, right? By this time I had my pepper spray out, and I had a couple of comments for him about what would happen if he came back, but in any case, he didn't, so that was that. But I think I better get, a carry permit or something. We had a bear that came around not long ago in the complex, the house by the river. But anyway, I'm kind of rambling now, and hopefully that means you're asleep by now, and that would be great if so. I used a different microphone tonight. It's the Tascam, and I hope that the sounds are okay, even though I know it will pick up the cars outside and things like that. But I can do some cool ear-to-ear with it at some point in time. Here, I'll do a very light thump on each side so you can hear it. That's this side. That's this side, right? And now we're over to this side. And here I just told you in the last video, I wasn't gonna do what other people are doing. But I am gonna have to play around with this microphone a little bit and have fun with it from time to time. So I'll do sounds that I think are relaxing. I don't like the abrasive sounds myself. I tend to go for the low frequency sounds like a washing machine or a dishwasher or thumping or tapping. If it's not annoying, no finger on a chalkboard sound, please. Water sounds, I like water sounds, especially heavy rain, heavy river rapids, super heavy waterfalls, and things like that. Heavy surf, those are my faves. Heavy wind, storms. Anyway, enough rambling, guys. Until next time, don't ASMR and drive, and we'll be back with a lot more, including a ghostly Halloween video. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.